You know what time it is? It is time for conversations with Renee. And I always have amazing guests. And today, y'all, I got my good girlfriend. Isn't that what they call them? Your good girlfriend. I got my good girlfriend here, Roz, y'all. And we're about to get into some conversation, but we're also in the midst of her glamifying me, y'all. So when you see me in the hair color is tight and right, and sister is swinging and blinging, blame it on Roz, okay? And later I'll let her talk about exclusive hair studio and spa because you got to make a visit, y'all. Hey, and good morning, Roz.
Hey Renee, how are you?
I am well, and listen, I'm gonna be extra well and fly after you finish with these flat irons.
Yes. It has been such a pleasure with you today,
It
transforming you to
is.
your new look.
Yes, Roz, and it's been a long time coming because I've been saying I was gonna get in your chair.
Awesome. I am so happy you had the time to come. This has been a great opportunity for me. I love transformation. So this is
Yes.
absolutely beautiful on you.
And I'm glad that you had the time because listen, y'all, Roz is sought after, highly sought after, always going, always moving. So when you've got a good girlfriend like her to say, listen, I'm only coming in because I love you, baby. You appreciate it, honestly. Roz, thank you for real for coming on this morning. And
Thank you.
as a
Pleasure.
absolutely. And being the woman that you are, Roz, honestly, right? You've seen, you've done, you've heard, you've moved, you shook, you shake. And when you are a woman of wisdom, right?
Yeah.
I want to just have a brief conversation about looking at the women of today.
Mhm.
Really, what is a woman? Like, what are we looking at as a woman now? And what should we be looking at in finding a woman?
Yes. So I would say that the women that I come across, most of them are pretty much business, family, basically wives, leaders of our community. And the one thing I look forward to is providing them peace,
Yes.
a sanctuary, as I say, our happy place here at Exclusive. I've been doing this now for about 27 years.
Mm-hmm.
Exclusive started out in the historic district of College Park.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am very excited to just be able to, service women that not only making them feel good, looking good on the outside, but actually feeling good in the inside. That has
Mm-hmm.
just been a privilege. With the women I see today, I just see them as, women. When we come in here, we are like we transfer to our little girls because it's a safe space.
Yes.
And it most definitely is a place where we can relax and relate. I hear every day just the hustle and bustle, things that are changing in our industries. Just basically since COVID is a whole nother world.
Yeah.
So with the women that I meet, they mainly have adapted to being multitaskable people.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly managing family, work, and play, and enjoying some of the time, off as well, which is very important. Taking care of yourself.
Yeah, and I like that you said that. Like you said, being a safe space and a place for women to come, right?
Yes.
You
yes.
said that when you get together, we can be our little girls. I
Mhm.
think that that makes a very well-rounded and grounded woman, a woman who can still get in touch with her little girl,
Yes.
right? And have that little girl laugh,
Mhm.
let that little girl cry, and let
Yes.
that little girl be free.
Yes.
And a lot of times when we escape that, missing our little girl, we navigate adulthood a little off,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Because the child in us still keeps that jovial in
Yes,
us. It
yes.
keeps that, they say that what is it? Laughter makes the no, laughter is good for the soul,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And so it's like if you're able to come in and kind of like get that laughter and like you said and feel comfortable, that's another part of ourselves. I think as the women now, we're like kind of missing sometimes, right?
Yeah.
We have to stay in touch with ourselves.
Yes. I most definitely think that, laughter is great for the soul, and sometimes individuals find themselves, whether they're new, moving here to Atlanta, coming to the space, most of my women here, start friendships, whether it's through networking. I create a space where they can come in and work. Wi-Fi. We have a side where it's quiet
Hmm.
for business, and it's no drama space here.
What say
Period.
that on the D.O.D radio network?
No
Destiny over
drama.
drama.
We are allergic to drama, so no. So
Absolutely.
yes,
And I love that because, like you said, real women don't like drama anyway,
yes.
right? When we talk about what is a woman now, and even just helping our younger ones, the Bible talks about like Naomi and Ruth, and it talks about Lois and Eunice, talking about teach the other women. So when I hear a lot of women talking about our young ladies, and yes, we're not really representing as well as we could in the younger generations, but I have to say that means that it's our generation to say, excuse me, come here, baby.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you a little bit. Build, just like what you said, build a relationship, build a rapport where she wants to hear from you. It's not like you're chastising her, but you're like giving her some input and pouring into her so that she can become better. And what better place than a hair studio?
Yes, yes. I think that over the years, I've been a stylist where I have been able and, had the opportunity to work with celebrities, to travel, to attend shows in New York, classes, teaching, and all of that. But I would say my heart is basically with my client one on one. And probably about 7 years ago, I decided to transfer into a boutique style. And that just gave it more of a privacy.
Oh, yeah.
It gave a safe space. It limit how many people in the salon. And so you can control, the flow.
Yeah.
So that experience is great. I love to have a client to sit in my chair and then ask them after we're settled if they have a favorite beverage or a favorite radio station. I must say today was the first time I asked that question, and she said, Renee told me I want to play my radio station.
Yes.
And that was so cool. It's been such a refreshing experience hearing her music, her station, her team. It is most definitely motivational.
Can't do without my team. I'm telling you.
It's actually a wonderful asset to even have in salons today because we need that.
I like that. And you know what? So even going here, you're right. You was like, what's your favorite radio station? I'm like, mine. Honestly, I think that is another attribute or that we can attribute to a woman of today. And I'm not saying that women who don't own their own and not an entrepreneur is not a woman. I'm definitely not saying that. But what I am saying is that, yes, I remember an old I'm not going to say old, but I remember back in the day, I would listen to Juanita Bynum. And I think it was like her No More Sheets that she preached. And she was like, have your own lamps, have your own this, have your own. And I was like, when I listened to it, and I was like, it sounds good. But then when you do experience it, it's just a form of positivity, affirmation, and accomplishment, right? So I'm definitely not saying that if a woman doesn't have her own. So it's okay, like if someone doesn't own anything, but again, it's just a sense of accomplishment. And when you say woman, that means that yes, there is something that I'm proud of. It doesn't necessarily have to be a business, but something. It could be even just as much as it's accomplishing healings, Rassalyn.
Yes.
Like that right there constitute a woman over a woman having 15 businesses but does not know herself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Roz, you ever did hair shows?
I have. I actually had an opportunity to do shows here in Atlanta, educating, working with companies where I was a platform artist, educating about the product. And one of my key things was about working smarter, not harder.
Yes.
And I tell you, that actually woke me up to learn how to not find yourself engulfed in your work so much that you lose touch with real life.
Ooh.
So I think that, when I teach that course, and I am about to start back with the courses.
Thank you.
Because I think it's much needed. I hear all the time in my chair that, they're working so hard and not, seeing the progress that they may see. But sometimes it's not always, like you said, with the business. It could be working on yourself.
Yes.
I have had the joy of also being a founder of a foundation, which has been a collaboration of clients and grandmothers and single fathers and what have you to help with motherless daughters. And so when I hear you say, Renee, about reaching out and talking to that young sister, believe me, it gives me such joy to have that opportunity to have a young lady comfortable enough to ask our opinions in this safe space. And
Absolutely.
you wouldn't believe how the young ladies enjoy that. They just don't have it, you know. And so being able to pour back into a young lady is awesome, even in this environment of a salon.
And I do want to say, um, you, when you're a good person, I believe you meet good people.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Roz and I actually hooked up, collab, because I saw her organization and her foundation on Facebook. Because again, Roz, being new to Atlanta at the time and being a single grandmother, mother raising her daughter, I was like, I want to find my village, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to find a place for her to be able to feel like she's not missing anything either, because she's
Mm-hmm.
connected with other young ladies and
Yes.
other people to pour into her. And I'm
Yes.
just going on Facebook, and I was like, so here it is. I'm on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, motherless daughters. I'm like, okay, so the name itself, honestly, it touched me. Because what's that song? Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. And I know I just messed up the melody, but that's the name of the song. And so I was like, wow, what a name. It is befitting and touching, because even there are some of us, Roz, that have mothers and feel like a motherless child.
Yes, I have
So,
girls in the program
mhm,
that have been just like that. You know, the motherless daughter's name. We do not call our young ladies motherless daughters. We call
right.
them future influential ladies
I
of
love it.
tomorrow.
I love it.
The motherless in the name motherless daughters is the missing motherless attributes that we come
Yes.
back to fulfill in that young woman or that youth even.
Hmm.
Because what it is, you may have an individual that did not have the aunties and the grandmothers in place
Those
where they can
Loises.
come
Hmm.
and pour back in. You may have a teenage mother or a runaway and situations of that, not just mothers that are deceased or mothers that's incarcerated, but you have mental illness that's out here,
Yes.
emotional detachment, you know.
Yes. Yes.
That is very much some of the things that we have learned in the last 15 years. And these are
Mm.
things that the society a lot of times sort of put in the shadows, but we want to bring them out and we want to pour back into these young ladies, because if they do not have someone that can fulfill that cup by pouring into them because
Mm.
their cup is low, we want to be able to
Yes.
come in and pour back into them. And that is the missing motherly attributes that we fulfill as a
Hmm.
village. And that's what it's about.
Girl, I'm always singing, Roz. I'm listening. You were talking, and I was hearing Yolanda Adams. What about the children?
Mm-hmm.
To ignore is so easy. So many innocent children who choose the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
about the children? And I am
Could have
so
been
grateful.
me. I'm
Could have.
telling
Oh,
you.
listen, that's my other one. Roz, don't start. Out there with no food. Don't listen. Don't start the concert, Ross.
I'm telling you, it's just a blessing to have had like grandmothers in my life, and mentors even today, you know, mentors that I have in my life, such as Miss Salona Clayton, who's
Yes.
like a true mentor to me, sharing life and sharing things that
Experiences.
I'm
Yes.
telling you that I would
Yes.
never known about, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
so I did not even know who she was
Well, I
prior to
cannot be
meeting
truthful.
her.
I didn't know
I
either
know.
until I met you, and I'm like, okay, I've got a lot of
Yeah.
missing pieces for me to
Yeah.
understand. Like you said, being a woman,
It
I
is.
believe that being a woman is also learning of other women, right?
Yes,
Because
yes.
you don't even realize sometimes that your greatness is because of the greatness of other women who
Footsteps.
stepped out on faith,
Yes.
who went against the odds,
Mm-hmm.
who, didn't say no, wouldn't back down, so many powerful, influential people. Whereas, all we hear sometimes though, Roz, is that we're catty. We can't get along,
Mm-hmm.
we're too emotional, we're
Untrue.
right. And I'm like, so when you get around other women or you read of other women or you start, like you said, looking into some other women, I mean, it could even be women of the Bible. I looked at
Mm-hmm.
some of the women of the Bible and their characteristics, and
Mm-hmm.
even to the point of naming my daughter JL. Now
Mm-hmm.
some pronounce it Jael, but JL, Jael. And that name came out of the book of Ruth, the 5th
Mm.
chapter, 22nd verse, right? Many people don't know about Jael, but she studied under or was under the prophetess Deborah. And Deborah was an army leader. Again, another woman who was an army leader, married to, guess what the name was? Barack. And she
Wow.
led armies. And it was JL who actually killed the leader of the enemy who came in to attack their camp.
Mm.
She killed them with a tent peg. And I was like, I want my daughter to carry that very strength, that very like warriorness. You know what I mean? And I'm like, now, had I not known about who that was, I wouldn't have given that name, but I wanted to name her something that was going to attribute with her. Right, right,
Awesome. Yes.
right. And so I just feel like, woman to woman, like you said, I feel like also, and I don't like to be in my feelings, but I believe that also a character or attribute of a woman is to pour into another woman, just like we were talking about. Pour into and see that that young lady gets everything she needs, right?
That's what it's a seed.
Everything, because whatever we don't feed won't grow, right? And whatever we do feed, it grows. And so we have to be mindful of what we feed and how we feed. And I want to thank you for feeding this crop top up here. Coming next month, my birthday coming up, I'm gonna look like something, y'all. So absolutely, Ross. I just want to thank you for letting people in on our conversation, talking about just being a woman and being a support and pouring into and stuff like that.
This is what I do every day. This is what I love. This is part of what I felt like is my mission.
Give back.
To give back, and this is something that God has placed on me to do. I've done it for over 3 decades, so most definitely.
You only 25.
I wish, but yes.
Yes. Roz, listen, I'm excited for what you're doing for my hair. I'm excited for what you're doing for the girls. I'm excited for what you're doing in the community.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
You're doing an awesome job with your awareness of domestic violence this month.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's awesome. Each woman has probably had that incident, whether it's emotionally, physical.
Yeah, because that is abuse. It's just not the physical. And Roz, it was funny when we were talking about this, and I was saying, oh my gosh, she done turned me around to the mirror, y'all. She shouldn't have did that. Oh my gosh. Oh, I look so pretty, full. So, but yeah, so you're right with the domestic violence. A lot of people, and I didn't even realize this. A lot of people are not even aware that that October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. They do not, and I know that it's breast cancer awareness, but I think the statistics are very high. 7 out of I think 100 young ladies or other individuals are caught up in abusive relationships. And we don't want it to go unnoticed. So I thank you for even mentioning that, because on the 25th we're going to be at 3455 North Desert Drive in East Point from 12 to 3, accepting your lightly used wearables, for men, for women, for children. And because it's so close to Christmas, bring a little toy or something for a child to have something to look forward to as well. One of the things I like to do, Roz, is I do and I don't really understand or buy into disadvantage, right? I don't want anybody to ever feel or look that way because of their situation or their what they're going through. So as much as we can bring joy and hope to somebody, I hope that you come through, not just you, but like everyone listening, that we have a really great turnout with little house things that somebody may need for their home, small things, and it could be something in your house that what you didn't change your decor and like I'm not really going to bring it, because to somebody else that may be an amazing item or piece for their home. So I really appreciate you.
Awesome.
We spent a great day together. Glad you liked the station, and just awesomely amazed and so happy that you made it on the station as well. So
thank you. I appreciate it, and I actually am very thankful for this opportunity to share. So thank you, Renee.
Absolutely. We do what we do because we women.
Yes.
Listen, y'all. So stay tuned, of course, for Fact of the Matter. More great music here on D.O.D. Radio Network. This is the station, what? For your best self, your best life, best radio. Say that and that part.